we're implementing a switch starting in 6th grade. And so 6th to 8th grade, as a diocese, we're going to really affirm and prescribe the EDGE program, which for those of you who don't know EDGE, EDGE is a program, or for lack of a better word, made by Life Teen. And Life Team is a tried and true organization that has been around for a long time, doing great things with young people throughout our country, throughout the world. And they're still really one of the leading organizations that is leading the way in how do we bring young people to Christ? How do we bring young people to our Catholic faith? And so what the EDGE program does for 6th through 8th is it takes our students out of a classroom lecture-based model, right, which we know time and time again, people are saying that's not how our young people learn anymore. That's not how they relate. That's not how they absorb, is being talked at, right? That we're in an age of really experiential, hands-on, and that they want responsibility, they want to belong, and they want to get to know each other and the faith on deeper levels than sometimes just reading out of a book allows. And so those things aren't bad, but again, it's meeting young people where they're at. And so the EDGE model really takes them in. It concentrates on having them have an encounter with Christ during each session, and understands that there's learning that goes on. So they will also learn about important topics. Some will be issues that are, currently in our society that they're dealing with. Especially, I know that they've talked a lot about throughout COVID. We know our young people have had a lot of anxiety and a lot of worry about change. And so, that's what's great about EDGE too, is it updates, it stays relatable, and it says, how can Jesus meet you in those things? And so there's learning that goes on there, scriptural, our creed, those wonderful things too that make us Catholic. The real presence of Christ in the Eucharist talks about those things, those important tenets, and it has them really discuss them, dive into them, not just in activities, which are there, but more in conversation with each other. Right. What does this mean for you in your life? Or, when you see someone go up and receive, and what does that look like? How's been a moment where you've been moved by that or this? And so has them get in deep dialogue and discussion with each other and get to know each other. And again, that's what church is, right? Is that we're journeying with each other, right. We're not just ships passing through the night, but that I care about you and who you are, and I pray about your concerns, your worries, your joys. And it takes them into that type of community and gives it to them at a middle school age, which I think is really crucial. Right. I think we can all look back at our middle school age and think that community that I was around, that shaped me and formed me in a lot of ways.
Right. And I think it's like what you're saying, it brings all the pieces together, right? It's a very usable program that puts them in a place always in prayer, in discussion, in small groups, that they can run around and have fun at the same time. But that they get to be engaged. And I think that's what really is important, right? They want to be engaged. They want to belong. They're asking the questions why. Here's the place to do it, right? Where they feel seen, heard, known, and cared for. And that's really then what's going to keep them in, right? And that's how they get to experience Christ, is through all those pieces coming together. So I've been able to experience that a little bit. The EDGE program, have seen kids have come out of that have really liked that, have enjoyed not sitting in the classroom, and of course they do that all day too. So it's nice to give them something a little bit different. They also feel more a part of the process and what's going on and how things are moving, which is really nice, I think, for them as well.